What happened to Sri Lanka?
Lanka was the most prestigious airline in the country. In 1998, approximately 44% of the company's shares were sold to the renowned Emirates airline. Following this, our national airline was rebranded as SriLankan Airlines. By the end of 2007, Emirates decided to withdraw from the Sri Lankan Airlines. This decision was influenced by an incident where the highest-ranking official in the government at the time pressured the airline to delay a flight from London in December 2007, leading to the cancellation of the CEO's work permit. A few months later, in 2008, Sri Lanka repurchased the shares previously owned by Emirates. At that time, the Sri Lankan Airlines Group reported a profit of 4.899 billion rupees. The group included not only airline operations but also Sri Lankan catering, ground handling and cargo services. What happened to the national airline after the 2008 acquisition? After the repurchase, Sri Lankan Airlines began to incur continuous losses. The annual losses in billions of rupees were as follows: 2009, 9.996 billion, 2010, 6.034 billion, 2011, 0.202 billion, 2012, 17.208 billion, 2013, 26.857 billion, 2014, 31.365 billion, 2015, 16.329 billion, 2016, 12.083 billion, 2017, 28.339 billion, 2018, 18.585 billion, 2019, 41.7 billion, 2020, 44.139 billion, 2021, 49.704 billion, 2022, 163.583 billion, 2023, 71.306 billion. These figures are extracted from the company's annual reports and clearly illustrate the extent of the losses. What happened to an entity that used to generate profits? After the reacquisition in 2008, the company was led by a relative of the highest-ranking official in the country. Several actions taken by this individual, a relative of the topmost important person in the nation, were documented in a report by the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, appointed by the Good Governance government to probe serious fraud and corruption. These actions included the changing of destination of a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Katunayake on the 22nd of January 2014. Providing catering for a rugby tournament organized by a relative during 2013-14, supplying food and beverages for artists attending a presidential election rally on the 19th of December 2014, paying a special efficiency allowance to a flight attendant, departing a flight to France on the 26th of January 2014 before the arrival of 75 passengers, paying fuel allowances for the vehicles of the then Minister of Civil Aviation from the 27th of July 2011 to the 22nd of November 2014, and using vehicles without legal ownership. The Commission recommended filing charges for corruption, conspiracy to commit corruption, and criminal misappropriation. However, no significant actions have been taken to date. Another major issue was the aircraft purchase deal that contributed to the current state of the company. In 2012 to 2013, a proposal was made to replace 13 aircraft with 14 new Airbus planes. Sri Lankan Airlines signed agreements to purchase 6 A330s and 4 A350s from Airbus. A subsequent investigation by the UK Serious Fraud Office revealed that a senior official at SriLankan Airlines was promised a bribe of $16.84 million, of which $2 million was paid. Based on this revelation, the CID conducted an investigation leading to the arrest and remand of several suspects who were later released on bail. The COP in Parliament continued to investigate this notorious Airbus deal, uncovering more irregularities, including the involvement of an advisory firm without proper procedures. After the government change in 2015, another $98 million was spent to cancel the Airbus purchase deal. These events, along with continuous losses and problematic transactions, illustrate the challenges faced by Sri Lankan Airlines. Despite the changes in government in 2015, which promised good governance and anti-corruption measures, the company continued to suffer. The new administration appointed a friend of the highest-ranking official to lead the company, and the brother of the official's advisor became the CEO. This led to further mismanagement and significant losses. The CEO, initially appointed for 6 months, was later made permanent despite opposition from the board. He eventually retired, demanding 6 months' salary with taxes and a year's worth of airline tickets to Australia. These are just a few examples. There are many more instances of mismanagement and corruption. The Good Governance government paid a company named Newsfirst to conduct a thorough investigation into Sri Lankan Airlines, and there are additional details about transactions for aircraft maintenance. The previous government sought to sell the company, and a party was selected for this purpose. However, despite the airline operations incurring losses, the ground handling, catering and cargo services of Sri Lankan Airlines were profitable and well managed. These profitable segments should be carefully considered before any sale. It is also worth noting that the last minister in charge made derogatory remarks about the national airline, including the mention of mouse, while seeking a buyer for the company. Sri Lankan Airlines is highly regarded globally, with its pilots, crew and engineers being among the best in the world. The problem lies not with the staff, but with the policymakers responsible for guiding the company. The losses incurred by Sri Lankan Airlines are not just a corporate issue, but also affect the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, as it supplies fuel to the airline. The most serious concern is that these losses are covered by the Treasury, which means they are ultimately borne by the public. While the company suffers losses, a few individuals have benefited. The Presidential Commission, COPE, CID investigations and board decisions over the years provided ample evidence of what has transpired. The Good Governance government's Valiamuna report also needs to be examined. Those who destroy the national airline and misappropriated public funds, as well as those who appointed and protected them, must be held accountable. It is crucial that those responsible for the destruction repay every cent and are held accountable for their actions.
What happened to Sri Lanka?